Welcome to Live Labs. Today, we are going to use Oracle Application Express, or APEX, to build a starter online shopping application in just an hour. My name is William Masden, and I'm a product manager for Oracle Database. I'm going to take you through this workshop today, so let's get started. First, a bit about Oracle APEX. Oracle APEX was created to empower you, the developer, to easily build compelling apps with superior functionality, performance, and end-user experience. First, let me log in to Oracle Cloud on cloud.oracle.com. I'll navigate to my APEX development area, which is under Developer Services. Find the compartment where I want to work and create an APEX service. I'll provide a display name and a database name for my autonomous database. Yes, that's right. APEX is built on ADB, which means you can even create this in our always free area. Let's do this now. I think it's incredible that you can build an app for free forever like this. Share this with your buddies. Okay, let's toggle the always free button. Enter a password and click create. And that's it. Easy peasy. After it provisions, let's launch APEX Admin. So now we create a workspace. Let's call it and the database user Demo. So what's an APEX workspace? Well, I'm glad you asked. A workspace is a virtual private database that lets multiple people work in the same APEX install. In my install, it's just me. But if you were doing this for your company, you could have multiple ones. Now let's sign into our demo workspace. Success! In this lab, we will install a sample dataset. In our demo workspace, go to the SQL Workshop menu, Utilities, and I'll choose Sample Datasets. I'm going to install the customer order sample dataset with all of its objects. I won't create an application just yet. So now I want to show you the object browser. This is where you can see the database objects we will work with today. I'll click around and make sure all of my data got installed, and it looks like it did. Let's add some columns to the sample dataset, specifically the products table. Click on the products table and click Add Column. Add the color, department, and clothing column. I'll go back to SQL Workshop, SQL Scripts, to run the script that's in the workshop instructions. Let me paste it and run it. Now, I'll navigate back to SQL commands and select from products. Click Create Lookup Table. This selected column will be a foreign key to the lookup table. Select Color. I'll enter the table name and sequence and click Create. Let's look at the color lookup table. You can see in the products table the color ID that corresponds to the lookup. We will repeat this creation of a lookup table for the department column. In this lab, we're going to add a package. Now back in Object Browser, let's add a package to the database. I'll call it Manage Orders and paste in the code from the Live Labs Workshop Guide. The package adds and removes projects, gets quantities, checks to see if the product exists, clears the carts, and creates orders. So let's create the package. So you can see the package in the Object Browser and inspect the code. Let me add the body of the package and save it. Now it's time to create the app. Go to App Builder and click Create. I want to create a new application. Let me name my shop. Now let's create the first page. A dashboard page. For the first chart, I'll select a bar chart for the top 10 products and select the product order table. We want the label column to be product name and sum up the total sales. For the second chart on our dashboard page, we will make a pie chart for the top 5 stores based on the store name and the total sales. Our third chart is another pie chart that displays the number of orders by status, which comes from the Customer Order Products table. Chart 4 is a bar chart on product reviews by product name and average rating. We also want to make this the admin page for our shopping cart app. Okay, that page is done. Let's create a search page that displays cards of products in a grid labeled by product name. We'll also make this the home page. Oh, I need to do some cleanup. So this default homepage, I'll just go in and delete it. Now let's create a page for multiple reports. I'll select multiple columns so that Apex will build interactive reports for these. Let me edit the clothing lookup page and make it an admin page. And I'll repeat this for all of these reports. Okay, let me add an interactive report page. First, we select the table, then check Include Form. Now we can map lookup columns. First match clothing ID to its lookup, then the same thing with department and color. Don't forget to make that an admin page. Lastly, we will enable role-based administration. Okay, that's it. I'll click Create Application and run it. It really is that easy. I'll log in with my Apex information and see my app. So in my shop, you can see the products page and the admin area with all the reports and pages I built. Let's manage some products. This is super cool. I want to edit the Blue Boys coat. Let me explore it a bit, but I'll cancel out. Let me check the dashboard we built together. And there are my 4 charts: top 10 products, stores, and the order status. Excellent! Now let's create the order page. We will start off with a blank page and title it Order Information. Now that we have the page, we can add some static content to it. We will give the region a nice title and format it a bit. Next, we will add a few page items. The first one is a hidden item to hold our order. Then, we will add a subregion to display the order information. Another subregion within it will be a card region that is based on a SQL query to grab all of the order information. I'll customize the card to display the correct information and add some formatting. Then, I will create another card region to display the items in that order. After some formatting of the card, we can save and run the page. And there you have it, a finished order page. Now let's create our shopping cart page. The first thing we need to do is create a couple of application items, the shopping cart icon and shopping cart items. Then, we will create an application process to initialize the shopping cart icon and items. Now that we have those, we can create the actual page. We are going to select a blank page and title it Shopping Cart. On the page, we will add cards to display the items in our shopping cart. It will be based on a SQL query that gets the user's shopping cart items. We will modify its appearance a bit and denote the card components using some of the table columns in HTML code. Lastly, we will specify the empty cart message and icon. With the items added, we will now create a button that directs our user to page 18 of the application and modify its appearance. Now, we are going to add an order information panel to the page that displays a few fields. We are going to create a page item for the customer email, their full name, the order ID, the customer ID, and the store. Next, we will add a couple of buttons to this region. One for proceeding to checkout, and the other for clearing the cart. We will also add conditions to these buttons so that they only display when relevant. Now that we have our page items complete, we can move on to page validation. Here, we will add validations to the page so that necessary items can't be left blank. Then we will ensure that all of the validations are run when clicking the Proceed button. Next, we will add a process that is called for checkout. We will add some PL/SQL code, and then denote that the code should be run when clicking the Proceed button. Similarly, we will add a process for clearing the cart. We will add a branch to direct the application to go to page 16 and another branch for page 1. Then on those branches, we specify them to only be used when clicking the appropriate button. Next, we will add a dynamic action that will fire when the shopping cart dialog is closed. We will also add a JavaScript condition that this action is only run when the shopping cart has items in it. If those two conditions are met, we specify the action to run some JavaScript, which will update the shopping cart icons. The action will also refresh the shopping cart dialog. Now, if the shopping cart is empty, this dynamic action will also update the shopping cart icons to match. The last thing we will do is return to the page header and add some styling. Now, we can click Save and then run our page to view all of our hard work. To learn more, go to the bit.ly link on your screen to access this workshop and other workshops to help you develop solutions on Oracle's cloud. Thanks for watching.